Hello, this is the Silver Watchman, and welcome back to Space Expedition. Now, this is the finale of the series. It would appear I've gotten an email. But overall in this series, what we've gone over is... Well, the first episode was just pretty much a mess. Not gameplay-wise or video-wise, it was more of a mess learning-wise, because all I did was kind of I gushed over the fact that this is a space game, and quite frankly, it's still very much cool. I mean, this is space. Space. And then in the second episode, I went over how the universe is kind of like clay. And I went through how God is still spinning the whole universe and working on it still. But when you're working on clay, you start off spinning it slowly until it starts to get the shape that you want it to. Like if you're making a bowl or a plate or a disc or an egg, you spin it slowly, and then as time goes on, you spin faster and faster and faster, and you add more like water to the clay so it doesn't dry up. Yeah, it doesn't dry up like, turkey. Or a desert. And that was pretty much the second episode. Now, this episode, we're going to be following that tangent, but we're going to follow it. As we explain something else. God made the universe. That also means that he made you. And your argument is, well, you were born. Yeah. He made you around your body, meaning you are not your body, but your body is part of you. And people come in three stages. You have the body, you have the spirit, and you have the power. But do you know who else comes like this? God. God has a body. God has a spirit. And God has all authority and power. Nobody has given him any power because he is power. And his body existed before he came down here on Earth. Now, with most people, now when you're I could read through the book of the Song of Solomon. I can't explain how a person is made without getting bashful. That's... Okay. God made man, God made women. Me as a man, I'd be lying if I said I didn't every now and again admire the design of God knows what he's doing. Okay, so let's just gotta calm down a little bit. God knows what he's doing. So when a man and woman come together, whether they come together in marriage or not, the same process happens. I think we'll save that for another episode, for another video at least. I apologize, I'm a tad bit too red-faced to go into extreme detail of how a person is. So fast forwarding past that, so then the woman becomes pregnant. And people think that life begins in conception. But in reality, life begins in planning. But it's not always the planning of people, but it's always part of the plan of God. The plan of God. Every person that has been born on the planet has a purpose. And people who don't make it to being born, it's a shame. Because there's something that I always say, it doesn't matter how a life is created. But what matters is what that life, what that being decides to do. Now that's most people. Most people were born created like that, except, Adam. Adam was a direct creation of God, and the angels are also a direct creation of God, meaning God made them directly. I'm not entirely sure how God makes the angels, the sons of God. Not the Son of God, which is the body of God. Because the Son of God, Jesus. Okay, so here's how that worked. Okay, God said that he would be coming down here, but he didn't have to make himself a body because he already had a body. So would he, the best possible way I could explain to you as how he ended up being born to a virgin is he pretty much downloaded himself into her womb. That is so far the best possible description of how God did that. Because if I try to go in any more detail, I'll be trying to describe something that is a mystery to even me. But it's not a mystery to God. And though, in a way, I have asked God how he has done that, I still do not understand the answer that I got from him as far as that. But here's how God made Adam, a direct creation of God. He took dirt, pretty much, and formed it in his own image. And then he breathed life into that image. And then he was known as man, Adam. So fast forward, Adam was just kind of supposed to, name all the other things that God had made. All the animals that were in the Garden of Eden. And I'm not sure if he even finished that job, because it would appear that humanity is still completing Adam's job. But Adam was the first human being. And it's really cool in a way. But we also see, because Adam was a perfect model of God. Like a little small model form of God, which means he had, in a way, some of God's abilities, just in a smaller form. Like, less. And what happened, we're also models of God. But, like when you have a model airplane, it's not going to be able to do the same things that a really big airplane is going to do, like a actual airplane is going to do. It's going to kind of do it, but to a lesser and far less impressive degree. God made everything. And humans, we like to build. I'd be surprised if we didn't. In fact, I do enjoy building myself. It's honestly quite relaxing and fun, especially when you get those nice like 3D puzzles. So you're just like putting it together. Yes. And let's see. Oh yes, fast forwarding a little bit. Lo and behold, we see Adam going through something. And God acknowledged what he was going through. Adam was alone. But God saw him in that he wouldn't take any of the animals. He wouldn't take any of the animals. That pretty much says that at one point in time in human history, humans could they could pretty much canoodle with animals. And after the flood event, God took those 40 days, 40 nights to, in a way, reconfigure the DNA of every living thing, including all of the sea life, so that the events that happened could never happen again. Because now there's a genetic barrier placed there by God, because humans are incredibly irresponsible. And as a man, I can pretty much firmly say I am not as responsible as I should be. But I digress. Because I've actually gone completely off the tangent of what I was originally talking about. Okay, so back to the original topic. Actually, no, we never went off topic. Huh. Alright, we're just going to keep on moving forward. So that's how God made Adam. So how did he make Eve? Well, he took a piece of Adam out. But why did he make her? I should have said that first. Why did he make Eve? Why give Adam a wife? And the answer is simple. We as men, I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care if you could be superhuman, and trust me, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Quite honestly, it kind of sucks half the time because you're just there like, oh cool, superhuman strength. Oh wait, I just fractured my own arm. And half the bones in my hand just by picking something up. It's not fun. And it takes like a month to regenerate. But he made Eve because men cannot handle, being alive in this world alone. We can't handle it. We are too, in a way, aggressive. And we rarely are the voice of reason, even though there are a lot of times where we are the voice of reason. More often than not, men will be led astray by women. Because in many cases, men will trust the opinion of a woman over even the opinion of God himself. And even I am guilty of this. Because even I'm guilty of this. I'd rather not go into detail, not in this video. So, God said that man shouldn't be alone. So he made woman. But he took out a piece of Adam. So Adam was incomplete. People say, yeah, he made the first man, Adam was perfect, and he made Eve out of Adam. But Adam was perfect before God took a piece out of Adam to form Eve. He was a perfect creation. But he wanted not to feel lonely, and God saw that he was lonely. And God saw that it wasn't good. That it was, and it's not really mentioned in the Bible, but you live through it and you can kind of guess why God took a piece out of Adam to make Eve. He made her out of a piece of him because he couldn't handle being alone, surrounded by other creatures created by God. Yeah, but he was so alone. Just like this little guy is. This guy's just kind of, traversing an alien world. He just got eaten again, but still, he's traversing an alien world, but he's doing it alone. He's not really talking very much, interacting with stuff very much. He doesn't really care. And that's kind of how we as men get. After a while, we don't care. We stop caring. We just shut off our emotions just so we don't have to deal with that ever-growing feeling of being alone. And, for the most part, most men will not willingly admit that. That they're constantly doing stuff to get away from that feeling. Even if it means, shutting off your emotions for 2, 3, a decade. But he took that piece out of Adam, and Adam was no longer a perfect creation. He had to put Adam to sleep in order to take out that piece out of him. But it really says something. We are incomplete. Now, Adam had understanding and wisdom given to him by God. He had fear of God. He respected God. God gave him one rule, and he respected it. That's why the serpent did not go to Adam. It didn't go to Adam because it knew how he would react. He wouldn't listen to it. But the snake knew who to go to get Adam to listen. It went to Eve. Women are easier to trick than men. And even me, I may act like I don't understand half the time, but more often than not, I know more than I let on. I just don't really like to act on it, because how are you going to learn if you get all the answers? I'm a teacher. I'm supposed to teach you, and if I give you the answer, you don't learn. But if I help you get to the answer, then you do learn. Fast forward a couple thousands of years, like a lot of years, to now. Now, most people are made as a result of being born. Genetics, stuff like that. Family history. And God builds the person around the genetics, around it, and then as God is building the person, the body forms around that, but God is building around the genetics. Already knowing, already having a plan for that life. That is, that's a worm. Already having a plan for that life. Now, that's how most people are made now. That's why if you ask me, would I support ending a life, a child's life that has so much to live for? No. How I see things is, it doesn't matter how a life is created. What matters is what is done with that life. Me, I was created directly by God. Then God spent about a day cultivating my body. And I was born into the family that I was. God planned that out, because if I wasn't born into this family that I am born into, I don't think I'd be where I am today. So God really planned things out. I'm grateful for that. But how God made me is extremely, and I mean very extremely rare. For the most part, people are made of the other way that I explained to you. God starts forming the soul inside of the womb of the woman, and then the body grows around that, but then God starts working the genetics, working everything, and then makes the life grow. And that's why it takes some time. It takes 9 months, because if it happens all at once, it'll kill the woman. And God doesn't want that. Though some do perish in childbirth. And that's heartbreaking. But all life is precious. And how God made humans. When He first made humans, and how He made humans now. How He makes humans now, and even how He made me. So many lives and not... Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, but not a single person is exactly like anybody else. It's so cool. Overall, I did like this game though. It was really fun. And I've run out of time for the video. Thank you. Thank you for just watching. Thank you for sitting here. This is a blessing and an honor. Glory be to God in the highest. And this is a Silver Watchman signing out.